wanted to talk to you a little bit about Creedyn Foulger. He's an interesting story. Wanted to go to Stanford and was being recruited by him, but then injuries kind of derailed that. Ended up at Utah State and was going to play there, but he went on a 2-year mission. When they came back, they'd had 2 coaching changes from when he got initially recruited. And now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's at the Naval Academy. And, he looks the part, but he hadn't played football in a few years. Kind of tell us what you're seeing with Creedyn Foulger.
Well, he started off a little slow, and he had to knock the rust off, from being out for that long. And this week right here, he's starting to pick it up a little bit. He started off at defensive end, and we moved him down on the inside.
That's what you just told us.
Yeah,
tackle. Why'd you do
that? I just felt like a big, strong man. With that size, he can play down there in between the tackles, and we needed him down there to get reps. And he's done a good job here this week. Playing in there.
You've got Busick and Reed, 2 proven guys at ends. Mm-hmm. Is that maybe an indication that you think something of Foulger and that maybe tackle would be where he might be able to get some playing time if he continues to develop?
Yeah, we'll see. Then that's what the spring is for. The spring is about development. We're trying to get that quality depth. And I feel like you need that on the defensive line to be able to roll guys in and out of ball games, keep them fresh for the fourth quarter. And those types of things happen this time of year, and that's why he's down there, just to see if he can provide some quality depth for the D-line.
So Coach DePay was telling us that Creedyn just mentioned that he, coming out of his mission, he was able to dunk a basketball with ease, so there's some explosion there. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing that on the football field?
I have. At first, he was a little hesitant, now that he's learning the defense, learning what to do, being more comfortable with it, he's starting to play a little faster, and he's starting to flash out there with those same types of attributes that you just talked about. And that's why we're really excited about it, because we know what he has is just bringing it out and getting it done on the football field.
Well, and Coach Niemot mentioned when we talked to him today that he's also learning how Navy plays football, low pad level, all of that.
Yeah.
I'm
right.
sure you got to get indoctrinated to that as well.
Yeah. Oh no, there's no doubt. And I got to tell you, Wags, Tuesday after practice, I was almost cramping up, because just staying behind him, getting him going, getting the juice flowing, playing with that elite eat, and some of it came out. Like I said, it came out on Tuesday, and he's showing a lot of promise that he can be the guy that we want him to be out there.
So one thing that makes it unique for him, it's different from other plebes here. He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
He's a man, and by the time he's a senior here, he's going to be 26 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Do you see the maturity level, and do you think that could benefit him down the road, or maybe he's not in his prime by the time he's a senior?
Yeah.
He's past his prime.
Yeah. Well, when I talk to him, in person, he talks like a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like as he gets older, as he go through the stages here in the classes, he's going to be able to help the younger guys who come in and is not as mature as he is. So that's a blessing there, to have Creedyn to be in that situation, for us.
So we've interviewed him twice now, and he has a personality. He's got an outgoing personality. Is that what you're seeing when you deal with him in the meeting room? A guy with a little bit of that, unique personality, outgoing? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's always asking questions. He asks the most questions in the room, and a lot of it is because he's just trying to feel his way and learn. He wants to be exact. He wants to know exactly what to do. Where to step, where to place his hands. And all the things, the particulars of the defensive line, those small details that we try to push out to him, he sucks it up like a sponge and apply it out on the field.
You ever coached a 22-year-old freshman before?
Never. I never have. He's my first one.
What's that like?
Like it's good. It's good to be able to look someone in the eye. Of that age, and just to know he knows exactly what you're talking about. He's been through some things that some of the guys, that has not, and he's going to be there for him to help him. So it's going to be good having someone that mature in the room so early.
From what we've seen of him, he seems like a very bubbly personality. Does he relate well with the guys? I mean, there's a big age gap. Yeah.
Oh no, they love him. Yeah, he does. He does. You wouldn't sitting in that room, you couldn't tell, a difference in the age gap, which is also awesome to have.
Why don't we go back to, junior year of high school, maybe entering the summer of your senior year. It sounded like you're being recruited at a fairly high level. You had mentioned that you wanted to go to Stanford. Who were you talked to? Were you feel like you were a Power 5 type recruit?
I always felt like I was. I mean, we all have that confidence when we're young. That's what I wanted to. I kind of had all my eggs in one basket with Stanford. I loved Coach Anderson, the defensive coordinator that's there. I had been on visits out there. That's what I wanted to do. I had actually cracked my pelvis that junior year and didn't know about it. So I headed out to the camp there, didn't do as good as I thought I was going to, and then that kind of just was like stumbling blocks from there on how everything went from that point on.
So how did it wind up that you got to Utah State? Kind of tell me how that developed, and I presume that Coach Wells' staff was who recruited you there?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It was crazy. I mean, how long ago was that? Like 3-4 years ago? So
right,
I'll try to remember all the details, but I mean, didn't work out with them. Didn't get into school at Stanford with the injuries and stuff. And then I was just looking for somewhere to play, somewhere to like represent my family. My great-grandpa went to Utah State, my grandpa, my mom and dad, so I would have been a fourth-generation Aggie. I just thought that would be the best thing for me, so that's where I was talking to them, and they offered me the spot. So I thought that was the best opportunity for me to play. I love like the alumni that have came from there, the Vigil brothers, Fackrell, Bobby Wagner, Jordan Love, so I thought I wanted to be like one of those guys.
So do you go to school as a freshman, or is it known that you are not going to be enrolling as a freshman because you're going on the mission?
Yeah, I was going to go on the mission for sure. I mean, it was a long process with like my surgeries, going out on my mission, so they knew I was going to come back after then, but just like I said, the coaching changes while I was gone, and then when I got back, all of that stuff.
So where did you go on your mission? What did you do?
So I was in Colombia, in South America, in Medellin, Colombia.
Really? That's funny, because where Dupay was.
Yeah, Coach Dupay was in Colombia as well. He was in Barranquilla, which is a little bit more north up on the coast. But yeah, so I was just doing a lot of service, preaching the word. And it was fun. It was hard learning Spanish. That was really hard. Being away from home, different food. I was really sick. I lost 30 pounds with Giardia my first month out there. So it was tough for me, but I learned a lot about myself and developed a lot as a person.
So you come back, Utah State has completely changed over.
Yeah.
But you did enroll in school nonetheless?
Yeah, so I was in school. I was hoping they would let me play or get on the roster somehow. We were working through it. We kind of started kind of on the team. I mean, I had my academic advisors. They got me in my classes. I was working with them a little bit, but it didn't end up working with getting me a spot on the team at the beginning of the year. So I was just doing my classes. I wasn't, yeah.
So what did you get through, a semester there?
Yes, I got a semester there.
So what made you decide after the first fall semester, I got to do something else? And what was your strategy from there?
So it was actually the spring semester. I got home from my mission that December. So I did the 13 months in Colombia. Sorry, I'm not good at explaining. I did the 13 months in Colombia for COVID. They had to send us out back here. I got reassigned to Baltimore. So I was here in Maryland for the last 6 months of my mission. I lived in Owings Mills, Reisterstown.
You mentioned that.
Yeah. Then I got home December 17th. And then I started school the second week of January. And then it was known pretty quick that I wasn't going to be able to be on the team there. So that's when I started doing my recruiting So I was in school doing my homework for Utah State, looking for somewhere else to play. And that's when I was calling everybody up. My high school coach was at Pleasant Grove, like I said.
And he had the connection with Coach Dupay.
He had the connection with Coach Dupay, and that's where I called them up.
So obviously, I mean, going backwards before your mission, there's no way you would have thought you would end up at a service academy all the way across in the East Coast to Annapolis, Maryland.
Yeah.
Has it been kind of like a whirlwind when you kind of think about it? I'm here, you sitting here with us right now?
I remember first semester especially just sitting in my room like a year ago. I was on my mission thinking I was going to be playing football for Utah State. I'm here at an academy. I'm going to be in the military. I'm at a really good school, all the way across the country. I don't know how many miles it is, like 1,600 miles from my house or something. But yeah, it's been crazy, but I know that I've been blessed and this is where I'm supposed to be.
And so talk about trying to get back into football. It's been a long layoff. We had talked to Coach Niemot today, and he said, you're still learning pad level and all of that, and it's just, you know, you're getting, it must be a difficult transition, and it must be frustrating at times because you knew what you could do back when you were, you know, full-blood football man.
Yeah, it's been especially difficult in a lot of ways. I mean, I came back from a mission way more athletic. I could dunk like super easy with both hands. I was a little bit taller. I put on a lot more weight. I think I was like 220 in high school. I was more of like a linebacker, tight end kind of guy. So now I'm playing D-line. And they're talking about things, I'm like, I never heard that before. I didn't play D-line. So it's hard for me to get back into it in that way. And then my body, I mean, football shape is way different than any other kind of thing. I mean, I did plebe summer, running, push-ups, sit-ups, all that stuff, but I just getting my muscles back to where they're supposed to be. Yeah, it is really frustrating. It's been hard. I've been, not gonna lie, I've been pretty down on myself sometimes, but just fighting through it and doing my best.
So is Busick, who was just over there doing an interview, helping you out? He's a guy that got a lot of playing time last year, learned a lot. I would imagine that's the guy you lean on, watch some film on to try to figure out what you're supposed to do at defensive end.
He is. He's a great guy. Big, tall guy. Always got a smile on his face, got a joke to tell. Him and Justin Reed, who's my age as well. They know what they're doing. They got some time last year. They actually just switched me to tackle last week, so I'm behind Clay, but Clay just had his knee surgery, so it's me, Michael, Whitehouse, and John that are at the tackle position. So we're working there. I look up to Clay a lot as well, and John Brand, who's going to be a senior. Just good examples for me in lots of different ways with grades, being a good person, and football as well.
All right, Phil?
Yeah, just a few more. Have you thought about it more that, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, you're in Utah, and then you're at a service academy, and you're at the Miami Navy game, just how that timeline has gone?
I mean, it's been, I don't know how to describe it, because it's really very unique to me and my situation. It's been all over the place, really high highs and really low lows. I mean, Larvin game was one of the highest highs. I mean, I just remember walking onto the field and just started crying. Like, this is something I'm a part of. I love football so much, and I actually get to be a part of this crazy game that everyone loves. And sitting back like, oh, I might not ever be able to play football again. To struggling with school there and then coming here, it's just, I think I got accepted the end of May to come to school here, which is really late. I started plebe summer June 29th, so I had a month to get ready. So it's just been throwing me in the fire with everything. You got to do this, you got to do this. But I've just, trusted my family, trusted my Heavenly Father, and everything has worked out so far.
And lastly, just for background, you're 22 and born in 2000, is that correct?
Yes, I turned March 24th, so just a couple weeks ago I turned 22.
Okay.
So I have one last question. Obviously, Coach Niemann is LDS, and Coach DePay. I mean, there's a church over there across the Seven River Bridge. Is that comforting to you? I mean, that can't hurt in your adjustment.
No, it definitely helped. I mean, your parents always want to take care of you, make sure you got your religious side or your spiritual side. So they're like, is he going to be okay there? Is he going to be able to go to church and stuff? And, they were always there to, come for me. Yes, he'll be able to go to, there's lots of churches here he can go to, lots of people he can lean on. Coach Niemann's son as well.
Yep.
He's a good role model for me here. A little bit closer to my age, so, I could talk to him about some other things, but I love all that stuff too.